Hello, this is Mark Mitchell, and I'll be with you for sociology during the spring 2022 semester. I wanted to keep this video brief, and I just wanted to show you some basic navigation ideas here through the course. But first, I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you taking the class. I hope you have a wonderful semester. I want to help you as much as I can, so please, email, call, or talk to me in person when I'm on campus. And I'll be glad to help you with whatever questions or problems you might have. Now here I have logged in, as you can see from your screen, into an online course. And there's not much difference between an online and a traditional course. The traditional courses, they do not really have a weekly discussion board, although discussion boards are there. But I just wanted to use this one. I thought this would be the best type of class to use to really show you how to navigate. So I'm going to quickly point out some things, and the more you use the class, the more familiar you will be with it, and you'll have no problem locating what you need. But if you do have any issues, please contact me. Okay, so when you log into the class, it should default to the announcements. That's where we are. Okay, and I've included some little kind of cartoony pictures that somewhat resemble me there. You'll see those throughout the course, but maybe lighten things up a little. We cover 16 chapters in the course. There's 17 in the book, but we usually definitely get to 16. All right, so course information, I'll click there next. Our syllabus lives in this first clickable link. There it is. You need to read it. Please send me the last page. That's the syllabus acknowledgement form. It tells me anything about you that I need to know, but it basically says, you understand the syllabus, you agree to abide by it, but you can email that to me. You can drop off a physical copy. Whichever works best for you is fine. Please do that, rather quickly once the semester begins. Here's a syllabus quiz. I just want you to, something very small, not much toward the grade, but it helps to orient you to some of the assignments and different aspects of the syllabus. Just checking really to see if you've read it. And then some more familiar things, the general policies that I'm sure you've seen in many of your other classes. Okay, let me click back. Now that was all under the syllabus tab, but here's that acknowledgement form that I want you to email back to me. Then my course schedule here tells you where and when on campus during the spring that I'll be. So if you want to speak with me, you can, and I'm flexible. If we need to schedule something else, either in person or virtual, we can do that. Or in Blackboard, lots of options. And we'll just have to see how the semester goes in terms of COVID, and hopefully we'll have a good semester and that won't come to kind of bite us a little bit. All right, so here is just some information about me, a little picture if you've never met me before. I've been with JCC for a long, long time. Glad to be here, and of course teaching is really my favorite thing to do here on campus. I have lots of responsibilities, but that's the one I enjoy the most. All right, weekly lessons. Now, I didn't spend much time under announcements, but when you take your quiz or anything like that, or announcements, things that I think you should know, they will be there, okay? So definitely for your quiz and exams, your passwords will be located there that you will need in order to log in. Getting started is a tab that you will use at the beginning of the course, and then that will get less and less. The enrollment verification quiz, really that is more important for the traditional students. It's just to basically officially enter you into the class. You can do it. It's an assignment that the college uses in terms of just saying when a student actually was in the class and completed an assignment. So other assignments can suffice, but this will be available for just a short period of time. Okay, so there are just a really introduction. Here's another link to the syllabus. I've got this navigation video we're watching now, so if you want to watch it again, you can, or if you don't need it anymore, that's fine too. I've got everything kind of organized. We're about to see that. And then I live in the health building on campus, first floor. If you've been into the break room of the health building, that's where I live. Okay, and so I will be there and can help you. Glad to see you. Just be mindful of COVID, and if you're not feeling good and you do have a traditional class, then just don't come to class and be cautious. Okay, so the assignments. Now, this is something that you'll click on all the time. Okay, so this is one of the predictable, regular components I created to let you find what you need in a short amount of time. All right, so the paper examples, we have one paper for class, and this has some visual examples and the rubric. If you're curious about what the quiz and exams contain, they're multiple choice instruments, and here's just a brief video that looks at them. Nobody, I don't think quizzes and exams are fun, but just gives you a little idea before we do it. And then here's the dates of the quizzes. Any changes will be noted in the announcements section. And then your quiz and exam passwords, if you're in an online class, will be listed there in the announcements page. If you're in a traditional class, the exams would be in class. Okay. So we've broken the chapters down one by one. I'm just going to click on one, but you can see, hey, I recommend you completing everything by this bolded date. You click on chapter 1. Now this task list lists things that are required, recommended, and then optional. So, reading is something that you should do, but there's really no check for that. The chapter Learn Smart is required for a grade. The chapter 1 review activity is required for a grade. The core concept video is required for a grade. The discussion board, here's some study materials, the PowerPoint slides, the chapter notes, my video, and then I try to add some things in the video and media folder. Okay, your learning objectives, this is just what you should know. It's a mental check. Here's a brief outline of the chapter. Our chapters are about 30 pages, 25 to 30 pages, so this is greatly condensed. Some of you may like the PowerPoint slides. Some of you may like the notes. Just check the notes if you like printing them before you do that. Here's my video. If you miss class, this would almost be like, being in class. So I basically talk about a lot of the things that are in the chapter, and that's what we do in class. Okay, and then, of course, with the student comments and participation, that's what we do. All right, so writing assignments, the only time we have a writing assignment is your paper. Your paper's about midway through the course, so think, our spring break, it's due right before spring break starts, and I'll be reading those over spring break. Here is the link to your assignments. So when you click on that link, there's your smart book, there's your chapter review, your concept clip video. Okay. So this would be the longest one, and then this one's shorter. This one's really short. Okay, I'm going to back up. Your discussion board. Okay, here is your, right here is your article. And I'm grading you on the rubric. If you want to know how you're graded, it's here. And then if you have a little trouble with reading some of the articles, or just want a little help getting started, then click on this link here for the help. Some weeks we will have videos. Most weeks it will be an article. These articles are somewhat lengthy. They're very good. Most of them are. They're all related to sociology in the chapter we happen to be on. And so I'm looking for you to tell me about the article to show that you read it, and then tell me your thoughts about the article. Okay, so minimum of 300 words. No maximum, but just looking to see that you read it, that you understand it, and you can apply it and think of it in your own terms. This is just extra. I've tried experimenting with some study materials, and so this has for example, Chapter 1 vocabulary, and you can test yourself. It does not count for a grade. It's not an assignment. You can do all kinds of things with it, just whatever you want to do. You can see here. It's just to help you on our test. Vocabulary is important, so I thought I would include, something like that. Okay, so this is an example of Chapter 1, but all the other chapters are very similar. It's just the chapters differ. Chapter 2 is different from Chapter 1, and so on, until we get to the end of the course and the end of the textbook. All right, that was the weekly lessons. Collaboration, for example, now we do have discussion boards, and so you can access it this way. I think the other way, through the weekly lessons tab, is the better way. When you want to post your forum, you can. If you want to come here and do it, you can that way too. All right, so you have to post before you get to see anybody else's post, and you can respond to those. You're not required to, but you can. Here, the student coffee house is just, hey, for students to talk and greet one another. If you have some technical questions, you can post here. And then one thing I would like everybody to do is to tell me something about yourself. Okay, so who are you, where you're from, your program of study, where you live, just personal information you would like to share. Okay, so I like to read these, and of course, if there's any technical issues, and I tend not to kind of veer into the student coffee house. I think that's more for students. Okay, so that's a good example. The My Grades, it'll list everything, and then your grade. Mine looks, I think, just a little bit different. I don't have grades, but ought to be similar. And then, of course, in Blackboard, everything is calculated according to the formula in the syllabus. If you ever have any questions about your grade, let me know, and I'll double check. I keep a close eye on Blackboard, and I double check grades using an Excel spreadsheet. All right, then my JCC email, I'm sure you're very, very familiar with that. Okay, and so that should look familiar there. I check my email several times a day. The only exception being a Friday and the weekend. I'm a little less responsive than, say, during the week, so it may take a little bit longer, say 24 to 48 hours, as compared to much less than that Monday through Thursday. Okay, tools area, again, something you're familiar with. Lots of options there. We don't use many of these in the course, but if they're helpful for you somehow, please take advantage of those. The Blackboard help, you can use this function, or on campus we have Jolt. Jolt is very good, so if you have any password issues or login issues, please contact them. In terms of our e-text, we're an e-text class. We don't have a physical text, and you've paid for an electronic copy. Let me know. Now, I don't have really any more access than you do, but I can, I think, bypass some of the wait sometimes and maybe get some clarification. But I do have a link there in Blackboard that will help you. You can either talk to them on the phone or use the type and chat function. Okay, that's the one that I use, and it's getting better and better, but the problems have decreased over the years. Okay, we don't have anything else to purchase in our class. You can buy a paper copy of the book if you want to do that. That's not required. In my experience, many students, they just don't do that. They use the electronic version, but that's up to you, okay? I think I may have a copy of the book in the library, so, that wouldn't cost you anything, and you could check that out. And then later on, the course evaluations, I'm sure you're familiar with that, but JCC would like to get your opinion on a number of things related to instruction, and please fill that out if you can. This was just a brief hello and introduction, and I'm excited to be with you during the spring. Again, thank you very much for taking the course, and let me know how I can help you, and I look forward to being with you soon. Have a great day.